So in this video, I will be backtracking on my last video about Peas and KILLA in the Zach interview. And I'm going to show you in a bit more detail what I mean. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about when they say that they went into areas that we haven't seen them go on surveillance. And if it is the other place that they could have possibly went, that means that they knew a bit more about Kenneka's death. We all know that they do have a lot of suspicion surrounding them, and I'm going to prove that that suspicion is valid.
Well, when y'all was looking for, did anybody think, like, let me go down to the basement? Or y'all like, fuck it, we don't got access to that?
Man, we ain't even know.
Exactly.
Like that. The first floor, shit. Yeah, we don't know basement, some shit. Yeah, I ain't no basement. It's our first time in that motherfucker. We was walking around, and the back part, like, okay, once you go back towards like the kitchen, like, okay, everybody know how a hotel is. You know how how they have the chairs set up on the table. If it's the weekend, it's like it's over with. You know, like it's closed. They don't like the restaurants don't be open. It's the weekend, so it's like it was nighttime, and then it was closed. So walking back there, you get like a creepy little sense of vibe. Even the toughest guy, you gonna get like you're not finna just wander off into these people hotel. That's all for him. His first time.
Right, like some scary movie.
You know what I'm saying? It's like who finna go all the way back there, which put me in the mindset like. How would she go back there? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The same route that you get to that kitchen is the same route as the exit. The exit you go to your cars.
Right.
It's the same route. It's the same way. You get what I'm saying?
So you like why would she take that exit? Did you ever think for once anybody?
So when we look at the 360 of the Crowne Plaza, you can see one example of what he could have been talking about. And that is where you see you can turn left and go out into the rear car park, as you know. Or you can go straight ahead into what used to be the grill rest, which is now the caddy shack. When I showed you the caddy shack, you could see those doors that led into the kitchen. I will put both. I will put the caddy shack up and I will put the view of the grill west so you can get an idea. But what he was explaining could have been where you could have gone out to the left to the rear car park or straight ahead into the grill rest, where you would have the kitchen at the back and you could go through into the kosher kitchen, or at least into the hall that leads to the kosher kitchen. Now, when we look at this and we think about this, what he's just said, how would he know that that led to the kitchen? How would he have knowledge that that led to the kitchen? Unless he'd been here before or had gone over there before, how would he know unless someone had told him or he had been there? You have to remember that Peas is only seen. Remember where you've seen Peas and KILLA on the surveillance footage. We haven't seen him enter that area. So when he's talking about the chairs being on the tables, to me that could be that restaurant that is on the right after the IT section. The chairs are up on the tables as you know, Peter is closed. So he could be talking about that route, which is likely. I don't understand how he would know, like I said, that that kitchen was at the back of the grill rest. We haven't even seen him enter that area. And I don't know if it is locked off because it wasn't in use at the time. But when we think about that, that makes no sense. Something else I want to talk about is the fact that they mention the basement. They say that they didn't know there was a basement. We've obviously seen KILLA on the basement. He's the one that says didn't know about any basement. But they both talk in the interview as if they know about the basement. Because they mention her walking around. They mention the footage of her walking around downstairs in the basement. But then he's saying she was on the lobby level and went in that direction. Like I said, also, he wouldn't know what had happened, which is why KILLA accidentally nearly says it. But at the same time, the way that he's describing it, like I said, he would have to know the layout of the building to know that that kitchen is accessible through the grill rest. Now, when we consider the route that she took and we think about what Pease had just said and what KILLA had agreed with, there are chairs we see in some of the videography that the police had taken to show her route. You can obviously see the chairs that are in that hall that has no footage. How would they know that unless they went over there? So the only reason why they would know about the chairs being up and things like that in that area is by knowing what happened to Kenneka at the time. Okay, they've described to me more to do with the lobby level. Some people believe she did get out of the lobby level at some point, which is very interesting to think about. But if he is talking about the basement, it still makes no sense. How would he know that? That's why I was saying, why is KILLA saying she didn't even, and then he cuts it off? She didn't even what? He knew that she didn't even go on the lobby level. Whether Pease knew or not, or he's playing a game, I don't know. But he's saying she didn't even, that wasn't the route she took. She took this other route. So he must have known. That's what I was trying to say. When we look up, obviously I've shown you both routes. I've shown you what he could be talking about. You decide what you think he's talking about. Listen to what they've said and realize, regardless of wherever the position is of, the route of that she took, of what they're talking about, it still is invalid and makes no sense and puts them in a position to be suspect. How would he know there were chairs up in the basement on that hall unless he went down there? Pease also acts as if he knew the route she took, while KILLA knew, while Pease is describing the route that she didn't take, even though Pease at other points in the interview knows that she was on the basement from the footage he's seen on the news. So either he's playing a game or KILLA knew what happened.